What's up, guys? How's everybody doing? Welcome to our weekly protest where we demand that Predator be the new Predator film, have its graphics improved, take out take out the weird the weird baby Whoopi Goldberg hair having bug-eyed messed up little messed up Predator guy. Have him redone so that he looks like a real proper monster. Remember, Predator, guys, may be sci-fi, but it's also horror at its core. First Predator movie was a horror movie. The second horror Predator movie is also arguably a horror movie. Maybe it departs then a little, but it is a horror franchise, and I don't want to have little bug-eyed yacha scum making their little weird baby faces. Get on it, guys. Get on the internet. Start the petition. Get the petition rolling. Demand this movie not come out. Don't send anybody death threats. It's not. I'm not making this weird face because it's a joke. I don't ignore that whole part. It's not a joke. Don't send anybody threats. But maybe some strongly worded letters. Um, call your congressman, your senator. I don't know, man. Make this thing not happen. Make them redo it. And in honor, we're gonna play some real Predator stuff. We got our live play going. I think this is your fourth session or so that you've survived, which is pretty long. But I guess that
Yeah.
extra starting honor was probably a good thing.
Yes. If I'm
So
not, sorry, go ahead.
yeah, to catch you guys up real quick, the AVP campaign and the other campaigns that we've done give the players extra honor if they perform. If they survive well, they get extra honor to use in the Predator campaign. And because Helicopter's been through it 3.9 times, 3.99 times already. Yeah, some extra starting honor. With that, if you recall last time, the ended the same way that it always ends. You return to the ship. You had some guys try to instigate some stuff with you, but you blew them off, to my dismay.
I smell him, Hector. I smell him.
Just got to start docking you points. Start docking you points.
Hey! You can't dock me points for me not falling for your shenanigans, okay?
It's look, as a player, it's your job to bite the hook, man. Like, what can I say? Take the adventure. But you're probably smart to do it, not to do it anyway. Whatever. We'll see, man. We'll see. I just got to give you a bigger worm. No homo.
You're gonna dangle meat in my face, make sure it's a big one, no homo.
All right. Gonna excuse me. Get some more liquid in my throat. See if I can soothe this persistent cough that I've had for like 2 months now. It's just the cough. Everything else is gone. It's stuck around. It's one of those, you know. Excuse me in advance for doing that and doing it again soon. I'm sure. All right. So a few weeks later, after another jump through Predator hyperspace.
Preda space. Hyper Preda space.
You know what we can do? We can name it right now. There we go. I knew I was going to do it again. Good thing I apologized.
The Hunter Slipstream.
No, we need
Predator jump window.
no, stop. Stop. Think about a hunting name, not a predator name. How do hunters travel really, really fast?
In Monster Hunter, they take big ass birds.
No, no. We'll come back to it. We'll come back to it.
Yeah.
We'll circle back. God. Gosh, sorry. It's all the anger from the Predator movie that's coming out, making me cough.
Bubble up inside you.
Sick vile stuff. It's messing me up. Okay. After a couple more weeks in hyperspace, the ship begins its orbit around another planet. A planet which is quite mysterious. Inside the ship, there is there. It's very Spartan. There are no windows, viewing bays, these kinds of things. But inside the common area, one of the other yacha has a holo display. And on that display, he's showing a globe on the hologram. And one of the other predators is saying, well, that's probably the weirdest thing I've ever seen. And the holo display seems to be full color. And the planet that he's looking at is very different colors on different sides. Patches, very large patches of it. Some of them seem lush verdant green, like you might expect. Some of them seem strange and purpley, which is a very strange color for a planet with life on it. You've seen plenty of purple planets. They come in all colors. But one with life on it, that's unusual. You're not quite sure which chemical makes a planet purple, but seeing one where it looks like life's on it and then there's purple next to it, that doesn't seem right. There's also large oceans, and large deserts. And the fact that the planet doesn't really seem to blend from one to another like any other natural planet. In fact, it seems more like a patchwork planet put together by these things, these separate areas just clashing into each other. And the other one says, well, according to my database, this is where we are. And another third yacha jumps in and goes, no way. It can't be. Like, I didn't even think this place was real.
I listen intently.
Yet a fourth one says, what the hell would you know anyway? You don't have the kind of education to know anything about this. You're all wrong and dumb. Quit working on those fables. Fables, says the second one. No, I'm going on that hunt. Nobody's keeping me on this ship, not this week. And the fourth one comes back in and goes, if we are at this planet, then you're a fool. I think I'll sit this one out. You go ahead.
And these are like the higher tier predators having this discussion around this globe?
No, you don't have access to their quarters or rooms or spaces.
No. I'm asking like the guys that are talking. Are they the higher ups? Are they the more
No,
important people? Oh, okay.
no.
Then I will just ask the one that believes in the fable. So what's up with this planet? What does it mean?
Hmm. Well, it's just a planet for rich history. It's been colonized by several different species, and all of them failed because the local prey is too tough for any of the hunters.
Can you give me more?
If I knew more,
So all you know is that whatever's living on that planet is really tough.
well, they say it's a predator fantasy land where you can hunt all sorts of things that no one else can hunt. You know, this clan has access, um, exclusive access to such planets because of its age. And every once in a while, we get to go to one of these incredible places. There's much honor to be had if you're willing to risk your life.
I will join you on this hunt.
I'll see if I'm allowed. Perhaps I will beat you for your seat on a pod.
We'll see. And I guess I do what I gotta do to get permission. Yuli doesn't know, but a character
Mhm.
would.
Well, normally the higher echelon of predators choose somebody comes up with a list. However, um, others are allowed to challenge that list. The problem with challenging the list is that you have to fight somebody on that seat on that roster, um, and if you fail, well, it doesn't look good upon you. You might end up losing honor. You might not.
Mm.
If you fail heroically, you might not lose honor. But if you fail decidedly, people might not take you as seriously in the future, which is a serious problem. Uh, so we'll just go ahead. And because this is a role playing game, introduce some chance. And if I roll under this number, this secret number that I've decided in my head, then you will be challenged. If I roll over it, you will not. You're not challenged this week. However, some some of the others are challenged. Yo, River Sticks, thanks for joining us. Um, join us in our Yaucha, our Predator role playing campaign / Predator movie protest, so that they redo the graphics for Predator. Um, we're just doing some one-on-one right now until we get some of our other players up and running again. Um, so you don't. I mean, you weren't challenged. Don't really pay attention. Some of those guys are lose their seat, and some of them do not. But a lot of people are eager to get onto this planet. Um, and not long after those fights, almost immediately after, those that were chosen and those who chose themselves and were victorious through combat go into their pods. Now, today is different because when you get into the pod, instead of dropping you somewhere automatically, there's a prompt that says pick your destination, and yeah, and a display wherein apparently you can pick your destination. Now, only one side of the planet is showing, and it seems that the the ship, it has an oblique shape where it is very slowly panning across the planet, very slowly, barely perceptively, and it seems to be that's because of your orbit. And it seems that you can ask the pod to drop in any part of this oblique circle, which almost comes to the edges of the planet on its horizontal axis, but doesn't really give you access to the caps, the north and south caps of the planet. And like I said, inside of that oblique circle, there are vast deserts, verdant greens, vast oceans, and
Purple stuff.
purple stuff.
I'm gonna go, if I can, I'm gonna try to land in the desert near purple stuff.
Okay. You may in fact do that. However, you might want to come up with a roll. Maybe you want to roll something.
Like a recon for a ideal landing spot.
Recon is exactly what that skill is for, I would say. So you want to land? You're thinking of landing in purple stuff near a desert, or in desert near purple stuff?
In the desert near purple stuff, because I don't know what the purple stuff is, so I don't want to land in it. I want to be on the outside so I could better investigate it. Need more recon. Oh, 12.
12. Well, what I can give you based on that 12, I would suggest that you bit more recon, but the truth is you need more of everything, so it's pointless to tell you.
Yeah.
But I'll give you this, because it seems that if you wanted to, you could drop your pod straight into an ocean, which might kill you.
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
You figure that maybe erring on this side of caution might be smart, because at least the desert, there'll be land, and you don't really know what the purple areas are. So I mean, yeah, you have no idea if your pod can actually survive a waterfall. Joe Best is a disgusting at 12. Yeah. How dare you roll so low? Oh, excuse me for coughing again. So yeah, I mean, unfortunately, I really can't give you more than that, but I can tell you that maybe at least this way rather certain you're going to survive the landing. So you find something, a place to land, and as soon as you do, your countdown starts, and you can hear in the chamber next to you a pod deploy. And not long after that, you hear the same sounds, but from within the pod, your own pod, launching you down towards the planet. When you after the harshness of entry, the turbulence of entry, you feel the landing, and you know it's safe to open the pod, or well, at least it's possible to open the pod, if not safe.
Carefully exit. Look
Okay.
at my surroundings.
Okay. Your desert is quite rocky and full of harsh, brambly-looking vegetation. A lot of it looks pretty dead, but I don't know. I guess you've probably been to deserts before, or well, it's it's just short, brambly stuff. Some of it is covers entire portions of the floor, while other portions are jutting out with rock, where even there some vegetation has managed to force itself into the cracks. So this is definitely a live place. If arid, it's nice and hot, even though it seems that you landed at night, and it is a lot drier than you would like, though. Y'all prefer humid climates, so it's very dry, but at least it's nice and hot.
All right, I'm gonna deploy my drone. And I'm going to start making my way towards purple stuff.
Okay.
Cycling vision modes and
Because
whatnot.
because you gave me a 12 recon, I will allow you to not fail in determining which direction that actually is. You could have been turned around by the instrumentation. You could have spun a little during your descent and ended up facing the wrong way. You don't. I don't know if you actually have a compass in your gear.
All I know is that when I picked my destination, I told myself like, all right, here to the right or whatever, you know.
Well, like I said, giving you what I can give you off that 12 in recon, I'm going to say you head in the correct direction.
Okay. Yeah, and
At
I could always
least somewhere towards where you wanted to go. And sure enough, as you head in that direction, you see insects, very normal, very small looking insects. Nothing bigger than like 2 inches. Some of them have primitive wings. There's some that buzz around as they fly. Nothing worth killing. Some of them crawl. They have strange shapes. Some of them look like the brambly vegetation. That's normal. As you've been to many, many planets, you know that especially the insects, mimic the vegetation on almost every planet. A normal adaptation for prey. But
I'm still gonna cloak just because I don't know anything about this planet really, so I'm being careful. And I will cycle through vision modes as I travel.
Okay.
Just to
You
be
do
a
that.
little more aware of my surroundings. Yeah.
Sure. That's great. When the desert starts to give way to a different kind of mass, you're not sure what it is at first. Um, you figure at first maybe the rocks are different here, but the topography is changing. The rocks are harder, no, softer, no, hollow. Um, and wait, not rocks. In fact, this seems to be um, something done on purpose. And as you get closer and it changes more, you notice that these things may be organic, may be techno organic, um, not completely alien to you, as some would say. Well, you know that some Yautja used techno organic ships. Um, and you've heard of other spacefaring civilizations that also use such a thing. Um, Mythic creatures that grow their ships out of life. And the ground seems, not now, but maybe at one point, as though it were grown and it were alive. And as you switch through visual fields, through different vision modes, you see when you go into EM that in fact the entire ground is emitting a field of electromagnetism. And um, as you tune your mask to refine the vision, you see that um, ahead of you are quite possibly structures made of what the ground is made out of here.
I will cautiously approach and have my drone above me for looking in all directions. Because I'm curious.
Well, as you get closer, the EM field uh, permeates with more strength through the ground, and your cloak begins to crackle and fail.
Hmm. Anything
Um,
around me that I can tell? Living? From my
no,
perspective and the drone's perspective?
no, no. Um, you have not seen anything living around here. Um, Everything, like I said, looks like it might have once been alive, but now doesn't seem like it's alive. It seems quite hollow. You approach some of the structures, and you can see that they have cracked and fallen. Um, Even though they are thick uh, and look like they would be quite resilient, they you can see inside, but you can't really make out what's going on in any of them unless you get closer. Um, but you can see that there is a certain amount of disuse that has led to some sort of decay around here.
All right. I'm going to proceed forward and roll investigate.
Okay.
How much do I have a timeline?
Yeah.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
allowed time on this planet?
Yeah. Your counter says 5 days.
Okay.
And you've spent about a quarter of a day so far getting here.
Okay, I'm gonna spend the rest of the day investigating the structure for a passive bonus in my investigate roll. 9.
9. But you did say you're going to spend the rest of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's the way the game works. This game works, at least. 9 plus time actually means a much higher number.
Yeah.
So, good call there. Going through some of the structures, I would describe them more now that you've had some time as, let's say, the shell of an insect turned into a TV.
Mm.
And inside, you could see old things, some of them which you can now start to see that might have been places to sit, places to work. But you can tell that a lot of things are missing. There are scratches on some of the surfaces, but nothing that made the scratches. And the scratches are consistent. There is a hole in the wall, but it's not a hole that was made through violence. Something was removed here. So this used to house something possibly important. And in front of it, this structure, which was born out of the ground, has stayed in front of it to allow something possibly to sit or stoop or kneel here. And now the thing that the stooping or sitting or kneeling was done for is gone. Um, so after seeing much of this, you think, or you might be able to say that it was either ransacked, taken, um, maybe they left, maybe something else came by and stole it. This place has been, these places, several places, have been thoroughly uh, cleaned out. Much of the things that would have been here. Now, that isn't high enough to determine who did it.
Mm.
You don't know if it was the original inhabitants or if another civilization came by and had their way with it, or space raiders, or who knows. All sorts of stuff could have happened, right? But it seems like almost everything of interest is gone. Um, that being said, you do find one place which is a TP of some importance, which has managed to keep much of its structural integrity. And because of the chitinous, scaly quality of the outside, it's not that hard to climb, even though it seems that the steps inside have been worn down over time. And up on top, where the shell has been broken off, leaves you a pretty good view of a lot of this place. Interrupter there. And uh, and finally, and most importantly, and GM tip for you guys, you leave the most in investigate roles, you leave the, and other when you're describing stuff, you leave the most important thing for last, because otherwise the players won't listen to your descriptions. So, finally, and most importantly, you find animals that have recently been eaten. And even more importantly than that, You are you checking the sound or something?
No, yeah, you're good. You're fine. I'll
Okay.
just hear it. You're good.
And more importantly than that, it looks like they were cooked.
Switching to smell-o-vision to see how recent the thing that was eating these animals was in the area.
Mm-hmm.
Can I find a trail?
I think I needed separate roll for that.
Look, I guess.
I might give you synergy from that because you can see smell with your mask, but
Another investigate.
I think there's a more appropriate skill. You could do another investigate, but I think there's a more appropriate skill.
There's a more appropriate skill. Recon the area.
Mm-mm. I'd have to say track is the most appropriate skill, but I could let you roll something else if you wanted to.
Gonna roll something else.
Okay.
No, yeah, I'm gonna investigate the area or attempt to investigate the area to find a trail. 12. Don't worry, Hector. I'm gonna start rolling like trash as soon as I get in contact. All my good rolls are being wasted right now.
Who said that was? Who said that was a good roll? What do you roll? 10 on your?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because the trail is so old, and because you're using investigate instead of track, your best bet on that roll is to hope that they come to use this place again, because they made a fire here once. They might do it again, but there's no guarantees of that.
My smell-o-vision doesn't really give me anything.
It's just been too long dispersed. I mean, you can definitely, depending on what the wind is like and what the other environmental factors in it are on it,
Mm-hmm.
you for sure you have hours. You might have days, but however long this has been, nah, it's not working.
Okay.
The scent has been too dispersed at this point. Basically, it'd be indistinguishable from background noise at this point by how much it's been dispersed.
Yeah, and that just tells me that whatever was here eating in at the fire was probably a long time ago.
Okay. You know what? I know this is inappropriate, but I'm gonna shoot. 'Cause I'm pretty sure this was Adam that messaged me. It's like, why isn't he playing?
No message, just get in here.
Right?
Right?
He should. I didn't put it together that that's his account. I forgot who it was because he changed his username. All right. Give him a shout out. So yeah, it's up to you what to do here, because
I'm just gonna keep exploring the purple area.
Okay.
Drone out, recharge when necessary. Maximum height on the drone, so I can have the most. So I can have the biggest vantage point and whatnot. Searching around, cycling vision modes, looking for anything else of interest.
Looking for anything else of interest. Did you want to give me some sort of roll for that?
Look.
I'm going to say that you've already spent 2/3 of the day. You know what look does. Look look lets you see things, but you have to only things you can see. So um, so
I mean, like,
there are more appropriate skills than that, but are especially if you're looking for things.
recon
You
or
could.
investigate would be better.
It's up
Investigate
to
might be
you.
better. I am
You
trying
need
to
to
investigate the purple, so
you need to tell me at this point, um, because I
I'll
don't want to
investigate.
lead you.
No, yeah, for sure. I'll roll investigate again for
Okay.
interesting things. E 3. Oh, look, this place is purple. Nice.
You continue on until you see that the readout on your mask says that you've lost a day. Um, whatever whatever thing was here that's smart enough to cook, you're not seeing any more evidence of that. At one point, you do see something that you might be able to describe as a weasel, about a foot in length or 2 feet if you count its tail. Something kind of like in the shape of a ferret. Uh, it's not that surprising. There was plenty of like bugs and stuff to eat in the desert. There's probably a lot of stuff to eat around here too for something that small. You don't see you don't know that there was anything big enough to predate on the weasel. It might be the top of the food chain around here, besides whatever cooked. Because the bones that were gnawed at were a lot bigger. So something big ate that, cooked and ate something big. Um, you don't see any evidence of that stuff around here, so you have no idea what's going on with that, and you end up basically losing the day, not being able to gather any more information around here.
How long do
And you,
predators go without sleeping?
so when I say day, I'm saying predator day cycles,
Yeah.
gaucha day cycles, um, which I am guessing that Yaocha Prime is a much larger planet than Earth, and totally speculating, but about 36-hour days. Um, and I'm basing your stamina and how tired you get off of that, and your counter based off of that. In so basically, you've gone a whole day for you, relevant to you, to where you're getting tired. You're getting exhausted. You need
Okay.
to go to sleep.
I'm gonna take a nap in the ransacked house.
Take a nap in the ransacked house.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What do you do?
And then when I wake up, I'm gonna go what would be considered further in the purple and continue investigating.
Okay. What do you do this day?
I just keep exploring, trying to gather as much information as possible, trying to figure out something.
Okay.
Drawing up.
Well, for those of you who are watching, this means one of two things, and they're exactly the same. Either the player has spent more time on the investigation, which means you should get a bigger bonus to the roll, or um, the place that he's investigated um, becomes easier to investigate because of the time he spent. So I should lower the difficulty setting.
Oh, because I'm like a little more familiar with surroundings, that kind of stuff.
little bit, yeah. So either way, I mean, persistence is a tactic. It's a fair tactic. So if that's what you want to do,
Yeah, I'm gonna spend this day
I'm
and
just thinking out loud because we don't normally I don't do that stuff, but since we don't have any players, I might as well get some tips. Well,
so day
that's
2, continue investigating the purple.
mhm.
9. And obviously I'm moving
9.
to different areas
Okay.
all day,
Um,
whole day.
the whole day.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then let me randomize some stuff for you here, for my you and me.
Isn't it more fun that way?
It is. It is. That's the whole point of rolling dice. Like you don't know
Hell yeah.
what's gonna. The
Like, is it a
unknown
good
is
day or a bad day? Let's find out. Boop.
the unknown makes it fun.
Mm-hmm.
But almost near what would be half a day for you, closing in on the middle of your waking cycle. Um, you do in fact come across something interesting. Um, on either side of this area, which ramps down into the ground, are two symmetrical structures which look like at one time they were some sort of little post. As some of the scales look to be intentionally left open, and inside you can see that they're actually, in fact, little counters um, on what have at one time been windows. And you see um, on what these windows would be like sills where you think that energy was projected at one time. And inside are like hooks or shelves and stuff to place stuff on, which now are empty. But some of them are broken, but some of them remain. uh, Victor says the disassociation on Yuli's face is unreal.
I don't even understand that.
Thanks for joining us, Victor. So at one point these things were posted, and there, of course, like in every other place, there are holes where things are missing, but very intentional, perfectly shaped holes where things were maybe once set and their purpose is now lost. And down in between both of either of these posts um, is first off rocks, just rocks piled piled um, up against what is a wall, and behind the wall, uh, you're not quite sure, but it looks like maybe a portal of some sort. And by portal, I'm using it generically as a door, a window, a bay opening. I don't know what may be some sort of portal. I'm not saying like blue orange stuff,
Yeah,
right? Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
a
Using it.
pathway or doorway, that
Yeah,
kind of
I'm
thing.
using that. I'm using that term very generically to describe because it's so covered up that I can't. Don't want to give you a precise description.
Yeah.
Uh,
Can I uncover it?
yeah. Um, I mean, you got predator strength. You might be able to clear these rocks.
I shall.
All right, you start uncovering rocks. Um, what is your stamina, by the way?
It is. I have a stamina of 3,
Mm, that's not
and
bad.
hang on. I'm inside a structure, right? Like I'm indoors right now.
Mm-mm.
No, it's outdoorsy.
Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure because I'm keeping my drone above me and looking around, watching my back.
Okay. No, sure. It's it's there isn't a lot of glory in moving rocks, but um, eventually, the more you move it, you're more convinced that this is a door of some sort. And sure enough, when you get it most of the way uncovered, you see uh, you see what you think is a was at one time where a panel was, a control panel to open the door. The things here must have been a lot smaller than you because you had to dig quite a ways to get there. I mean, by now you're resting and you need that rest before you take the fatigue wound.
Yeah,
Um,
no, I'm not trying to gas myself.
yeah, but you're like, mm, if this store's this big and something this big went through it and they had arms like you did, this would be a pretty good place for a control panel. Unfortunately, that control panel is missing. Um, if indeed it was. Um, so I mean that's where you're at.
Okay. So I'm at a door with a missing control panel.
Hmm.
Is break a needed skill? Probably is, huh?
Yeah. If you don't have break, you have to use damage.
All right. I want to open this door. I want to know what's in there. Is it like? Does it look like one of these doors? The chook chook, or does it look like a regular door with like a handle on it?
Okay, it looks like. Give me
Okay,
another roll to figure it out.
like is in. Does the door have a knob, or is it just a closed doorway
No,
and a control panel next
no.
to it?
This is why I use the word portal. Um, if you want a better description, you need another roll or a better roll.
Hmm. Let me see if I got something here. Oh, well, I have Decipher use, but I could already figured out it's basically a door, right?
No, that's not a bad skill to roll right now.
All right,
I,
I'll try it out. 9.
okay, from what you can tell, the design of this door is that it is like a fan, like a handheld fan that spirals around itself. Well, Joe, you just can't curse away in the comments. You have to use adult people words if you want to be taken seriously. You can't just. I actually don't know what my moderation is set to, so sorry. Maybe I'll go in later and turn down the moderation so you can curse away in the comments. Um,
Are you just seeing a lot of stars and stuff? And
no, Joe said, "Oh, my comment was deleted." I'm like, "What do I do?" Um, um, so you can tell that this door functions something like a fan, which is actually probably made of several blades. Uh, blades. Again, I'm using that term descriptively. There doesn't look like an actual knife or something, but it looks like blades that fan out and spiral around. Am I describing it well enough?
Is it one of those you know
It was
where you
engrossing. It was murder.
is it one of those like doors, the, it's like a bunch of things
No,
layered
like
on
a
top of each other and then
like a handheld fan that spins around. Remember, you know those handheld fans, the
mm-hmm.
little geisha used to that, like that. But imagine it goes all the way around and
Ah,
it's
okay, I
made
see.
like a katana
Um,
thing for Mortal Kombat.
I have architecture and job demolition. Can I figure out a way to get in there?
Well, I personally don't know it. I would say that those skills are actually pretty adequate for this. You might know the weak point for such a door.
So I'm assuming I roll architecture first and then demolition.
Why don't you give yourself synergy from one to the other?
Okay, I'll give myself synergy to demolition because I'm trying to force my way in there.
That sounds right.
5, 6, 10. That's it. That's all I got.
Mm-hmm.
10 to find a way to smash my way through.
Let's see if we can give you a tool bonus. What do you have on you?
I got a spear and wrist blades.
Now, here's the question. Do you want to spend honor for equipment?
I don't know. I had sort of plans for the honor.
Yeah, I'm sure you're saving it up for something because one's not a lot, but um,
So like
the
a demolition kit?
you you might have the exact tool you need if you spent the honor right now.
Mm. Mm. All right.
I'm gonna give you. I'm gonna charge you 1/3 honor,
Okay.
which is the smallest unit of honor in here. So sorry, you. I mean, on the plus side, it doesn't mean you have 2/3 honor to spend on other random stuff. Um, and you can't gain thirds of honor, but you can spend thirds of honor.
Yeah.
Um,
What are we calling this? Like a demolition toolkit or something?
no, you're spending 1/3 of honor on gosh, what do they call it? A hole puncher. You're gonna need an explosive charge that punches out a circle.
So like a shape charge?
Yeah, but
Okay.
specifically, you only can do circles.
A circular shape charge. Got it. Circular.
Yeah, you put write in your notations that it's the perfect size for uh, doorknobs.
No. Perfect for doorknobs.
In case you ever come across another doorknob you need to destroy.
All right. I wrote it down.
Okay.
So after doing this at the door, it'll be like, oh yeah, pull it out.
Well, you realize that the doors are in fact circling around a center point, and if you could destroy the center point, the blade should come undone. So you move a couple of final rocks, and you pull the shape charge from your backpack, from your little from underneath your generator, we'll say.
Yeah, my Predator pouch.
Well, that is a nuclear generator on the back. The side backpack that they carry. Boop, and you place the little circle at the center of the fan, knocking it out, and the blades loosen as there's nothing holding them together anymore, and you're able to push them down and away.
Get in there.
Of course, giving you access. You duck down to get into the portal, and you can barely fit in there without scraping your head. You find that you're bending your knees just a tiny bit because the ceiling looks so low. And in fact, every once in a while, and well, the first time until you decide to change vision modes, you hit your head on what might be a light in the center of the ceiling.
Yeah, just cycle
And
through so I could see better.
Well, at first you change to a low light filter, and whatever tiny amount of luminosity there was outside eventually fades. And you get to the point where there's so little light that absolutely no vision mode is working here. The EM that was outside is not present inside. I don't know if you have a light mode that works in no light.
Probably not. Can I feel around for the light switch? Start feeling around the walls.
No, there's no light switches.
And why am I losing all the light? Is it just getting naturally dark on the planet or something?
Because you're so deep inside of here.
Ah, I see. All right. Huh. Do I have glow sticks? Probably not.
No. However, since you have 2/3 honors lying around.
Oh my geez. Oh my geez. Okay, all right, Hector. All right. I see your game. I see you.
I wasn't trying to take your honor, man.
I see you, player. I see you.
I wasn't trying to take your honor. Don't even start. I wasn't even trying. I just threw it out there because that is an option, and you haven't used it yet. But if you wanted for a 1/3 of honor, I'd be willing to give you a helmet light. You can either make, like, I don't know, your eyes shine. Light for your hawk, and 30 glow sticks of mission.
30 glow sticks? So I can have 30 glow sticks, a light in my mask, and on my drone?
Mm-hmm. They're just
Yeah,
lights. I mean, you might even convince me to give you more, if you could think of something. I just don't know as far as lights what else you might need. So
yeah, nah, yeah, I'll take it.
know if you need a backup chest light or something. I don't know. They're just lights, man. I mean, I'm not trying to screw you out of the honor. I just
No, because I might
that's.
I might come into this situation again. So
Hmm.
helmet light, drone light, 30 glow sticks. Glow sticks
And of course, this will be renewed upon a
per
mission.
hunt, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna have I'm gonna activate my helmet light and
Nice.
activate
Thank
my
you, skeptic.
I'm gonna activate
Hmm?
my drone light and my helmet light, so my drone could like kind of be a little farther back
Did
to
you?
kind of illuminate the rest of the room.
Oh, okay. I doesn't matter. I thought your drone was still outside, but I don't care. It's fine.
No, no, it would be outside. That's my bot. That's my bed because it would have been watching
Yeah.
my back. So I activate my helmet light. I look around.
What's the timer on your drone? How
Uh,
long can it go up?
it could go for 2 hours before it has to come back to
2
recharge.
hours. Okay, that's fine. Because like I said, it's gotten so dark. You've actually been traveling through this tunnel for about 30 minutes.
Okay.
Finally, after those 30 minutes, you come into a room which has uh, three compartments, sort of, two of them to either side and one in front. On these compartments, there are rails, um, and there are holes in each of the compartments. That's your go down as far as you can tell indefinitely. Um, your light shines out so far into the darkness that it disappears, and there's nothing to be seen.
How far does this hole go?
I mean, it's a good thing you asked for glow sticks. We'll say they're like a ballpoint pen or um, sure. You drop one or chuck one out, and it goes down and down and down. Maybe you heard something. You're pretty sure it stopped moving. You think you can see it. It's just the tiniest hint of something way down there. Um,
How big are the holes?
the holes are 6 by 2.5 feet. They are rectangular.
Okay.
They are on either side they so that it's a walkway that comes out, and there are holes on both sides and in front. Um, there, I mean, you can still walk around it, and you realize now that it's a metal platform, and the rails are arcs made of the same living stuff, or once living stuff was that everything is made up around here. Even the floors, even though they seem metallic to you, are strange, and could have also been formed or processed afterwards to be flattened out. I mean, that's not that crazy. Uh, but you, in order to see this thing, you have to turn your light off and zoom in on it as far as you can, and you can see your glow stick way at the bottom.
Can I see anything around the glow stick or not really? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm gonna take a once. I'm gonna take a look outside, make sure everything's cool, and I'm gonna recall my drone, and I'm gonna send my drone down the hole.
Okay. Your drone is faster than you, but not that much. It's going to take you, I don't know, about 12 minutes
That's
to
fine.
get it all the way
Um,
down here.
yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah, once it gets to me, I'm gonna charge it up and then send it in.
hmm Yeah, it only takes like 5 minutes to charge up, right?
Yeah.
So you go ahead and spend that time to do it. And when it gets there, you recharge it, you send it down, and for the first time, as it descends, and it takes longer than you realize. Um, the I tried to give it to you in real time how long the glow stick took to fall, and it doesn't take you very long to fall very far. And when the drone descends, you realize how far deep down this thing really is. But for the first time, you see uh, maybe some of the stuff that got left behind. And down here looks to be what might be either machines or compartments, some combination of the two. It's really hard to tell what the purpose of the structures are. They're Some of them are 6 feet tall, 12 feet long. Some of them are 3 feet tall. Um, some of them look like they have interfaces, like they might be consoles. Some of them have interfaces, like they might have levers and buttons. Some of them have uh, handles, like they're maybe meant to be pushed or moved around or opened. It's hard to say because of the way that these things were constructed, but these things definitely have some purpose.
Can I roll the side for use on it?
You may.
10.
It is out of your scope.
So a bunch of machinery, huh? Basically down there.
Quite possibly. That these things are machines is hard to deny what kind of machinery it is. Who knows, man?
Okay. And now Yuli realizing that the ship monitors everything I do. I'll ask them when I get back what the hell I was looking at. I'm gonna say that out loud. Probably need to discuss what any of this is. Brethren back on the ship. All right. Take a good look around. Try to see as much as I can down there, and then just recall the drone. And I guess I'll move on.
Okay. You recall the drone and move on.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that's going to be the end of day 2 for you. What do you plan to do for shelter tonight?
I'm sleeping in the tunnel. Right?
I guess.
Protect me from the elements.
Oh, did I make a mistake? No. I think I might have made a mistake.
Because you said I had to walk down a long tunnel, right? Before I got
No. I gave you 30 glow sticks, and that was a mistake. Make it 33. Or
nice.
I mean, preferably it'd be. 30 is still divisible by 3, but the fact that it had a factor of 10 in it, I didn't like.
Okay.
So I said either 3 times 3 or 3 times 11 or 3 times 12. Make it 36. 3 times 12 is better.
All right.
I know it's arbitrary, but I'm trying to get away from human numbers.
Cool.
Just for flavor. And since I told you I'd give you, I would even give you extra for that 1/3 honor. Yeah, 36, 36.
I'll take it.
Okay, yeah, because now it's divisible by 12 and 3 and 9. Now it's good.
Now the world makes sense again.
Yeah. It makes Predator sense. All right. So you wake up and your counter says you still have 3 days.
I'm gonna go even further in the area.
Okay. How do you want to go about it?
I'm gonna roll investigate on the area. 12.
Okay.
All day. All day.
Then let's add some RNG. Let's ask
Drone.
RNGs what to do.
Drone at max
That's-
height, cycling visions, looking around.
Oh, RNGs is against you.
I
Um,
believed so hard.
oh, Adam says it doesn't work. At the very end of your day, at the very end where you're like, I'm gonna have to find some other place to put down, set up, start thinking about heading back because, well, I mean, because you were investigating, you were moving that fast. You weren't moving that fast,
Mhm.
so you're still well within a safe distance to get back to your pod, to your drop pod. But going any further would start to get risky. Maybe you could spend up to half a day tomorrow. So it's unfortunate that today, when you finally find something, it's at the very end of the day where you're like, time to like hunker down. And it's in fact that exact thing that says like, maybe it's time to hunker down, that you find a shelter. And when you find that shelter, you find that someone's been living in this shelter. And you can find uh, pelts that have been stitched together and filled with vegetation, and on top of that, it's covered, and someone's made a bed here. And some, if I say someone, because aliens are people too, but something has made a hutch here, a bed. They have rocks put together in a circle, which looks like it's been used many, many times to burn a fire. They have soot that they've compiled for some purpose from the fire, from the ashes of the fire. They have very crude, rudimentary looking things like what might be a mortar and pestle, or might serve dual purpose as a bowl or rock that looks like organic material has been put in it several times, maybe to grind food or bugs for nourishment or to eat out of. Other rudimentary rocks and stuff like this, which seem to have some use on them. You're not quite sure for what else they might be. It's just some useful looking sticks that are mostly straight. And if it was you, you'd think, I might use those as spears if I had nothing else. And they are rather large. Can be about, the shortest one being about 8 feet and the longest one being about 9.5 feet. Pretty sturdy looking sticks. Maybe they're just collected because they're rare, but they definitely look useful, and some of them look hunty. At least for a predator, they would.
Are they sharpened at one end at least?
No, these have not been sharpened.
Hmm.
So,
All
like I
right.
said, maybe there's a future plan for them. Maybe there's maybe they're used to make splints, or uh, maybe they're burnt. Uh, you're not sure, but like I said, being a predator, uh, if you had nothing else, like seems to be around here where you're eating out of a rock, uh, this might be your best option as a spear.
Do I get anything on smell-o-vision?
Yeah.
Can I tell how old the scent is?
The scent is pervasive. You managed to isolate a scent in here that's very pervasive, and just it's all over this place. Um, Clearly, whatever comes here spends a lot of time here.
Smell-o-vision through the drone outside. Can I find a trail?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm gonna check it out.
All right, you follow it. You're on a hunt.
And because my cloak is still like malfunctioning, right? Because of the EM field.
Yes, the EM field's super strong around here. That, however, does not interfere with sense particles. Um, but because it is your cloak is EM based, uh, whatever wavelength it's on is definitely screwing your cloak.
So I'm gonna stalk and hide the old way. Like, oh look, a tree. I'm gonna get behind it. Stuff like that. So it's a cat cloak.
Okay, what? It's up to you to find the right skill and have enough of it to actually prevail in this hunt. So tell me what you want to do, what you want to roll.
I'm basically using smell-o-vision to track this thing.
Mm-hmm.
And, track. Yeah, I ain't got no track. Roll logic on it.
Are you a predator? Got no track?
Ran out of
How you
points, homie.
gonna,
Ran
how
out
you
of
gonna
points,
track your prey?
Logic?
Well, track, man. Whether you got it or not. I mean, it's the most
I do
appropriate
not.
skill.
I don't have
Do you
it,
have?
so I guess I'll
Do,
roll look
do you
to
have?
follow the
Do you
trail.
have? Do you have to have it to roll it?
I'm not sure.
Let me pull it up. Uh, no, it's not. Wait, comprehension. You need synergy, and you can get synergy from find, investigation, solve puzzle, survival, most sensory skills, and learning tracks.
So I could roll it without having ranks in it.
As long as you have synergy, you need synergy.
I could get a synergy point from look.
Okay.
What's track? Logic / awareness.
Uh, so it's going to be memory awareness. The average of those two,
Okay.
or logic.
That'll be the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Woo! 12.
12.
I rolled max. I only had a 2 to work with, but I rolled a 10.
I know. You know, some DMs will tell you fudge the numbers. It's for the adventure. But I say never ever fudge the numbers. Here's what happens. You track the scent all day. Unfortunately, you're in this thing's area of operation, and there's so much of the scent that it's unclear which way to track. It's unclear which way is the most recent because it's doubled back on itself so many times in this area. And you spend so much time tracking. And because of the way that the smell is, you get to the point where you know if you don't start heading back now, that pod's going to leave without you.
Damn. All right. Yeah, I don't want to risk being left behind, so I'll start heading back. Can I, vision modes could be independent from me and the drone, right? Or do they have to be in the same zone?
No. Okay, so it has to be the same because wait, does it? Okay, so if you're looking through its eyes, I don't think you're seeing through your eyes. So I think you're using the same vision mode at all times. Like, I don't think it's useful for you to see through one eye through your mask what you're seeing and the other mask what it's seeing. Like, you basically need to switch over to its vision, right?
Yeah, I have
You know
like
what I mean?
a little HUD display.
Yeah, and I mean, like, yeah, I just wouldn't be very useful if you didn't go full on in its vision mode. I don't.
No, it's fine. It was just a question. It doesn't really matter.
It's my fault because I didn't really think about it or define how it works.
I just
The
thought
whole
about it
point,
myself.
yeah, I was thinking the whole time that it's going to be like the old school familiar senses where you get to
Mhm.
use yo narcosis. Thanks for stopping in. Like in order to see through its senses, you need to like switch yours over. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
We could discuss improving it for honor.
You're just like this, man. You're just like this. All right. So let's say for now we switch into same vision modes.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna start heading back to the ship, but every once in a while I switch to the vision mode to see if just basically see if that the thing is following me back to the pod.
Mm-hmm. As far as you can tell, it is not.
Okay.
And you spend most of your time now traveling. I mean, this thing, you were pretty much on a wild goose chase, and you followed so much scent tracks that you kind of lost track of where you actually were, and you moved out pretty far, a lot farther than you wanted to. And you spend the rest of your 2 days just getting back until eventually you get back to the tower and it's about time to rest. And you know that if you head out early tomorrow, you should make it there with a few hours to spare. So you should be within a safe margin to get back to the pod.
Was the tower the first structure I ran into, or the second one?
I mean, there were other structures there in a similar area. It wasn't the first thing that you investigated, but
Okay.
It was one of the first things.
All right. No, yeah. I'll rest up. Try to position myself in case something comes through the door, whatnot. What do they say? Like your feet should always be facing the door in case of attackers, something like that. I think I heard that like on the Big Bang or something. I don't know.
I mean, it sounds fine. It sounds like a good thing. I don't know.
Yeah. So
All right.
deploy spear. Keep it on my chest. And take a little nappies.
All right. So the next day you head out until you leave the what you think might be the bioorganic area until you're back in the desert, and you
Cloak.
follow your ping pad.
Mm-hmm.
Your cloak starts to work again, and you make your way back to the pod, and you've got only an hour and a half to spare.
Yeah. Gonna rest in the pod.
Mm. Well, that was very anticlimactic.
Mm-hmm. I didn't die.
but you, I mean, it might have been a good day to die.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Um, you get back to the ship, and I'm gonna roll something.
Mm-hmm.
And I've come up with a secret number in my head, and if I roll under that secret number, we're screwed. If I roll over it, then you're okay. And I rolled over it. Because no one find anything
Oh.
that was worthy prey on the planet. So you don't stick out. No one sticks out, which is a problem because that's what predators want to do. But because absolutely no one stuck out, then none of you are the worse for it. Nobody wants to be that guy who didn't kill something.
And we all ended up being that guy.
Comes back empty-handed. Yeah. But because everyone came back empty-handed, everyone, and you suspect that some of those everyone or some of the higher ups, they're also not going to be looking down their noses at anyone or looking down their mandibles at anyone. Because if they didn't also kill anything, there's not much they can say. But be warned, because if you don't kill stuff, if you don't come back with worthy prey, that might also eventually turn into a reason to start losing honor.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I'm gonna search for a superior. Talk to him.
Okay. Let's find out if you took speech.
I don't think I did.
Mm.
Have it, but no ranks in it.
Mm.
just wanted to ask a question. If I could find a
Mhm.
superior on deck. We're gonna say we did? Yeah.
No, I'm gonna have you roll speech to see if anybody cares enough.
Oh, okay, I see. Minus 4, 3.
3. Somebody will stop you at the door to the other common area. Be like, forget about it, buddy.
Can you ask them for me?
Not on my shift.
Yes, sir. Is there a do plebs like us have access to like comm systems or logbooks and stuff?
Mm-mm. You can
Okay.
buy that stuff.
No, I'm saying like could I type up a report? I'm asking, could I type up a report and just submit it, and it's up to them whether they read it or not? Kind of deal, you know?
You could buy some of that stuff with honor.
I hate you so much. But it's not a normal thing on a Predator ship.
The whole point of like the game is honor, right? So yeah, even for small stuff.
All right. I'll ask them some questions amongst my peers.
Okay.
Like, hey man, did you find anything down there? Did you go into the purple?
Oh hell no.
Why not? I found some pretty interesting stuff in there.
You bring any of it back?
Nah. It was mostly primitive stuff. I found some room like down some tunnel like machinery, but I don't know what the hell it did. And I don't have I point to my helmet like I don't have the cool upgrade to take pictures either. So I'm hoping maybe when I point up, maybe those guys saw something interesting and they'll tell us about it later.
Wow.
I did catch a scent though, but I wasn't able to find it. So close.
They're not watching for what you find. They're watching for what you don't find. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I was on the trail of something that was at least smart enough to build a fire.
Really?
But, yeah, but I ran out of time.
Man. I fucking love killing sentient life, man. Nothing storms better. See the look in their eyes. Their eyes move around all crazy and they like bug out. They got like blood veins in there. They're like, and they start making all these noises when they're dying. I mean, that's freaking exhilarating. Ah, sentient life, man. I want to kill it. You didn't find it?
I was so close, but I ran out of time.
I feel bad for us both. Damn. Sentient life down there, making fires and stuff.
Do you know if anybody else went into the purple besides me?
I bet they probably had like big giant bone clumps to smash dinosaurs and stuff.
I did find a bunch of big sticks.
Big sticks! Oh, I knew it! Oh, all the best primitive life uses big sticks, man. It's the music of the spears, you know? Oh, I bet you... I mean, which one of us is more pissed, man?
I'm pretty upset. I was so close. I think I was maybe like a few hours away from finding whatever the hell was living in those huts.
You should have stayed there until we came back on this rotation. I mean, it might have been, 5 years or so, but think of the honor you would have gotten on the way.
I guess. I mean, maybe you're right, but there's always next time, right?
I don't know how long the rotation is. Sometimes the ship changes paths.
Do you know Do you know anybody else who went into the purple besides me?
Nah, man, nobody wanted to go into that purple stuff. It's crazy.
And why is it so crazy going to the purple? Can you give me a little background there?
Because it's purple, man.
That's it?
It's been on a lot of planets. Usually stuff doesn't live on purple, man. I don't know why. Usually stuff lives in green. Like light from the stars comes down and starts life on the planet, and everything turns out green. I've seen planets where it's like vegetation is orange and stuff, which is kind of weird. Um, Also red. But purple's the rarest color.
Hmm. That's why it's so
Most,
strange.
yeah, it's like 65% green or something, which means like most places where there's living things, it's green. So purple's just weird. I mean, I think blue's rare, but I mean, nobody expects to find anything in purple stuff.
Hmm.
You probably have diamonds falling from the sky or something stupid. These planets are not worth anything. Full of stupid carbon and stuff.
Thanks, brother. I'm gonna go look for that guy talking fairy tales before we deployed.
Okay.
Because you said he was like on our level, right? He was one of my peers.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna look for that guy,
Okay.
and I'm gonna give him a report, and just tell him the whole story of everything I found on the planet and whatnot.
Okay. Well, he's like, oh, that's insane. I I lost a fight, didn't get to go. He angrily clicks one of his mandibles.
But yes, but you could live your experience through me, brother. What does it all
What
mean?
experience? You changed. You chased around a stinky monkey and didn't find anything. I mean,
I found some machinery. It looked pretty interesting. Just didn't know what the hell it did.
we should have stole some of it.
Yeah, I should have. Just didn't think about it.
Yeah, I mean, at least you would have come back with something interesting. I mean, uh, I don't know, man. Some guys say some stuff. They're like, sometimes the hunt isn't about a kill. Sometimes a kill can be like a metaphor. Like you find something and bring it back. It's still a hunt somehow. I think it's just like old timer talk for like making yourself feel better about not killing anything. But I don't know. If I were you, I would have probably taken something.
Hmm. Good to know for next time if there is a next time. But can you tell me more about the purple and
What's there
why
to
it's so
say?
strange and why nobody's really interested in it?
I've heard of like, well, actually, let me get a red roll here. Oh, cocked. No, he has not heard. Never mind. Um, there's a lot of different technologies out there. Like the thing that you're saying, who knows? It could be anything. Maybe a mega organism, and the people there were like parasites living inside of it.
Hmm. Mm-hmm.
Could be anything. I don't know, man. I wasn't there.
Um, Out of game real
And he
quick. I knew
clicks
I
his
knew that.
mandible again, really angrily.
Out of game real quick. I knew that the ground I was on was techno organic, right? It stood out that way at least.
Because you have some decipher use and stuff, like, and I mean, in spacefaring culture, you might have been exposed to something like that. I hinted that it might be. I don't remember you giving me any specific roles to determine exactly what it was.
Yeah, it's true.
So I'm going to just not give you any further information about it.
Well, I do mention that the electromagnetic field was very strong in the purple because of what it did to my cloak.
EM? Oh, it turned off your cloak.
big time.
Oh,
The
maybe
whole
it
area
was to
too.
be organic. Or how about organotechnology? Like, um, I could be like a living robot. Uh,
That sounds interesting.
well, it's hard to say, but I wish you found whatever bedding creature you described.
Yeah, I'm
Didn't
gonna
get
be
to
beating
look it
myself up about that for a while. Well, at least if we ever come across another planet with purple on it, I'll have some knowledge to go in with.
You know, we don't always get a chance to hunt sentient life, and it's such an honor to take it.
That close, brother. Oh, that close.
Well, space horseshoes and space hand grenades.
What?
close, close only counts as space horseshoes and space hand grenades. Whatever equivalent of that there is.
I like it. I like it. Oh man.
um, I kind of want you to actually hunt something. I feel like we should continue, but it's up to you.
Yeah, I could go a little longer. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So a few weeks later, um, when the ship comes out of its next jump and starts to orbit its next planet, the same guy that had the hollow uh, display for the other planet has a hollow display for this planet, and the same group of Yautja are hanging around talking smack, determining that they're going to be the ones to go on this hunt. They're not missing this one this time. If they were on the last hunt, they would have definitely caught something. Not like these other punks that didn't catch anything. Clearly, it's their time now. Uh, and the planet that he's looking at is a black rock with lakes of molten lava. And yet, you're going to go hunt on it, apparently. Apparently. And the thing that they're going to hunt is, of course, nothing other than something that they're calling a fire serpent, an elusive
Can
fire serpent.
could I spend my last third of honor for heat resistant armor?
I mean, that sounds smart. As a matter of fact, I don't think it's enough for heat resistant armor. However,
Okay.
the netting that a predator wears is supposed to be a heating element. And being that it's super advanced stuff, there's absolutely no reason why you couldn't have a cooling alternative. Um, yeah, I'll give you netting plus 10 versus heat
Cool.
for that third of honor.
Knitting. Not down there. Damn it. Whatever. Cool. Honor gone.
Well, I mean, you got some gear out of it.
Mhm.
As a matter of fact, you're not going to be challenged for your seat this time. I won't put a roll on it because a lot of the predators don't have heat gear. They're used to going to hot planets. There might be a couple of guys going down who are braving it anyway. Maybe they know something. Or maybe they've got really cool socks.
Maybe they have cooling bandanas under their mask.
Probably not. But either way, a lot of the guys who just don't have the gear for it are opting out. So there's very few challenges issued on who gets to go. Guys who are prepared for this stuff get to go. Guys who are not don't. The roster, even though it's largely decided by the upper echelon of hunters around here, this time it's kind of left open and seats just kind of fill themselves, whoever's willing to go. I mean, if the predator has the gear to survive it, then this is his chance to shine. A rare opportunity for some people, and it's a good thing you took some gear. And also, you can also add that you have insulated foot pads. As part of your plus 10 versus heat gear. Knitting foot pads.
Cool.
Okay. You
Quick pee break?
sure. Take a break.
All right.
We'll be right back, folks. Actually, I'm not going anywhere. I'll sit here and regale you with tales of glory and honor. And changing the dang Predator movie, the graphics on that guy's face, it just looks like some guy with Predator mandibles on. It's just a guy. It's just some dude. They put Predator mandibles on him, and his face looks dumb, and I hate it. They changed the Sonic movie from the dumb looking Sonic into the fuzzy, warm, loving Sonic that we all love. I was more of a Mario kid. I didn't really care that much. But I did laugh my ass off at that stupid Sonic. It looked like the dumbest thing ever. You know what I'm talking about, right? You remember the original Sonic movie with the Jim Carrey, and the Sonic looked like some sort of rabid, diseased weasel, and they changed it. Everybody got pissed and was like, "We're not having it. We're not going to go watch your movie. Boycott. Change it or else." And they changed it, and then they made $1 billion, and everybody was happy. And now everybody loves Sonic again. Well, that's what they're doing with the Predator movie. We got this Predator with his like cutesy little eyes, and he's just like, "Ooh, I'm a predator," and he's got his little toothies. You know, like that how they sell those Cthulhu plushies that are all like super cute and stuff. Like, he's only one step away from that, and it's ridiculous. And there needs to be a motion to change this before it's too late. can we please uh, just change this? One of my favorite franchises of all time. I don't understand what this guy's doing. He gave us the redneck predator. I don't know what they're calling him, if that's what they're calling him. From Prey. Not my favorite, but at least he looked mean. At least he was monstrous. Predators are supposed to be monstrous. They're monsters. Predator 1 is a horror movie. Yes, it's also a sci-fi movie because it happens to have an alien, but the alien is a monster. He's the devil in the jungle that comes and takes men and skins them alive. It's a horror franchise. Stop the weird, cutesy stuff. Awful, messing it all up. So we need to change that. Since my player is out, I'm going to go ahead and do a live. Oh, wait, you're back. Are you
I'm back. Were you gonna do something?
I was just going to go on Facebook and try to start a petition to change the Predator.
You can multitask.
Yeah. So we needs to be changed. It's just awful. Redneck Predator, I can live with it. Whoever the hell the guy was in Prey. This, not so much. It needs to be, please, like, save the children, save the Predator children from horrible
Save
directing.
Predator children.
I don't know. I don't know what to call it. I may be laughing, but I'm dead serious. It hurts. It hurts down to my core. I hate it so much. And I'm laughing to stop the tears.
There you go.
All right. Back to this. You are left back on the pods. Everyone's really disorganized. Everyone who has heat gear is going. You can see that it's a different roster than normal. And while everyone on the ship is related to you, either by marriage or through blood. However, I'm pretty sure you were born in a brood, and none of these people are like your direct siblings. So they're far removed cousins, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're still part of the same clan, though. And obviously there's blood ties inside of clans. But nobody... I'm sprinkling in some culture. Nobody calls each other brother or cousin or cares about family the way that humans would. As far as you're all concerned, you're all strangers to each other. You're here for yourself, not for any of them. And even if that's not true for you, it's most likely absolutely true for everybody else on this ship.
I'm gonna still call people brother. Same species. Same species. We're all related.
But like I said, those familial ties are distant because even though you're part of the same clan, you're not sure how many worlds your clan spans. So that clan just means that there's a familial tie at some point back in time. I mean, all humans are related too, but
yeah.
Pepe and France, I'm not. Primo, come here, you know what I mean? Like, so you guys get in your pods, and one by one the pods start descending, and this time I kind of feel like should I roll? Should I roll for you? Should you roll? Um,
You want a percentage?
I'm gonna roll a percentage to see if you get to roll something.
Okay.
I'm gonna say that's this percent. If I roll under this, then that will happen. Oh, nope. You actually get to choose where you land. You see the same elliptical thing where the path of the orbit gives you an available space to land in. The planet being very, well, it's relatively small. So, kind of what you're looking at is the core of a planet with a crust on it. Because, like I said, it's black. It's black volcanic rock adrift atop oceans of magma, right? And say oceans very, very might be a generous kind of description. Mostly, it's black rock, where in some places fissures are large enough to be detected from space, and you probably don't want to land in that. Although you're the pod might survive it, you probably wouldn't.
Can I roll a recon for a optimal landing zone?
You should.
Probably not. A 3.
A
Where can I
three.
land and not die?
A 3.
Yeah.
Not we're on this planet, buddy. Goodbye. Roll up a new character. Let's go. Okay.
Well, logically, I wouldn't pick next to a river of lava. You know.
Sure. You just. All right. You rolled pretty bad, so I'm gonna come up with another
Scatter die?
secret roll. Well, to make maps for all these planets would be a monumental task, so we're not doing that.
No.
No. So that's why we're going off percentages here. Let's say that let's say your roll informs my roll and gives you a very small chance of having a good outcome here, but still a chance. So
A chance is better than insta death.
And no, when you land, volcanic rock spatters in every direction, and you exit the pod, and you see the ash and soot that you've caused in every way around you for hundreds of feet, and that is all you see everywhere.
So I'm kind of blinded.
Looks like you played it too safe, and you're just in the middle of a rock. And the good news is, the planet seems to have a good amount of density to it, because the gravity for being a small planet, the gravity doesn't seem light, which means it's probably made out of something really dense. It also means that it's very hot, and that also means that the rock that you're standing on is probably very thick. So if these fire serpents, as they're so called, are in the lava, maybe, you don't know,
I don't know.
then you're not going to find any in this rock, which is a problem. and that's all you can see for miles.
Yeah, deploy my drone, max height, and just try to determine the path to take.
Mm-hmm.
Now that I'm on the planet, I guess another recon?
Yeah.
5. Turn 3.
5. Well, 5. The best you could come up with for 5 is to make sure that your beacon for your drop pod is always behind you so that you're moving in a straight line. Because there's absolutely no clues on which way to go. There's no high place to take a peek from. There's no points of interest. There's black rock and more black rock and more black rock. The horizon of the sky is a deep red, giving you some sort of hopes of fiery volcanic activity. But alas, there's just not much going on here.
I'm gonna use my drone to geotag my pod in case I get turned around. I'll know where extract is,
Mm-hmm.
just in case, and I'll just start heading in the direction I think I should go in.
Yeah, we'll continue on.
Cycling vision
Let's
modes,
just-
looking for trails.
Let's just roll some RNG here. I see
And I'm
you
gonna
need this
cloak.
up. Okay, that's a good roll for you. And let's see what this number says. Okay. You spend 1/3 of the day moving as quickly as you can in hopes of finding something. And in fact, only 1/3 of the day in, you've gotten really, really lucky. What you find is that the volcanic ash has really smoothed out and turned into a powder. And in that powder is mixed in a lighter colored dirt. And this lighter colored dirt starts to prevail and become the dominant or most abundant form of earth that you're stepping on. Did you say, describe to me the conditions that you're in? Or
What do you mean?
that your character is in?
The drone's at
So-
max height. I'm cycling, looking for scents. I'm cloaked.
Okay, that's the stuff I need to know. Just so I don't cheat you. Imagine anything wrong.
Yeah, and I got a little flight talents too. So basically, my drone could just like slow spin as
I'd
it's
say-
following me.
I'd say your cloak is probably working extra good right now because the heat coming off of the surface of the planet is causing its own little mirages everywhere.
Oh yeah.
So,
Extra invisible. Do I get a passive?
I'd give you a +5
Okay. I'll just
Plus
note it
5
just for this hunt.
to hide for now, yeah. But like I said, the dirt starts, the volcanic ash starts to turn into dirt. And heading into the dirt, your feet, you're probably extra motivated to move faster because despite it being only hot and you having insulated foot pads, there's still intense heat on this planet.
Mhm.
because you landed so far from a lava lake, not that bad. Like on a hot summer day on a home planet, or so you've been told because you've spent most of your life on a ship. Maybe you remember something from childhood, which wasn't that long ago. Yeah, yeah, you're pretty young, aren't you?
Yeah,
Um,
I think I'm like barely a teenager or something.
yeah, and ahead you can see rocks that aren't volcanic rocks, and because you can zoom in, I'll just go ahead and tell you that there is vegetation. There
Mm.
is trees up ahead. There are trees. So, I mean, there's definitely an atmosphere here. Probably don't want to breathe all this ash, but there's an atmosphere and there's trees, and you've been told there's things to hunt. So,
Check it out.
all right, you approach the area of the trees. You find that there, as you get closer, that what you think from afar might be the forest or a beginning of a forest is actually is enclave the correct usage for this? It's a circle. It's a circle of trees. Not like a man-made, Yahucha made, intelligence made. Trying to find the right word in here. Sorry. Um, not an intentionally made, created circle, but a natural circle splattered about. Maybe a few trees missing here, some in this direction, some in that direction. Um, the basic shape of a circle, and inside the circle, water, a lake, or a loch. It's a small body of water. Maybe at this point in time, at receded, maybe not as high as it should be, as this is a seems to be a sandy beach of some sort. Um, Maybe at some point this water rises as you've been walking on sand for some while.
So I
But
basically found an oasis on this
yes,
desert lava planet. Cool. Yeah, totally check it out.
and as you get closer to the oasis, um, there are definitely living things around here. Um, and in fact, there seems to be a bunch of living things around here. The first thing that you notice are some sort of apes in the trees. Small, um, hairless, but perhaps uh, maybe not apes, maybe proto apes, reptilian apes, before they've shed their scales and grown some hair, something like that. Uh, there's these things that are not quite scales and not quite hairs, that some animals have or had in the past. There's something on their skin protecting them from the elements that's not quite a scale and not quite hair. Their shape, if I had to say something, mostly approximates something like a lemur or a spider monkey or something like that.
Okay.
So they look apish. They still might have lizard tongues. Um, in the water, something is moving.
Large or small?
And you
From what I
can't
could tell.
tell. You
Okay.
can't tell, but you can do something to get more information out of me. I'll roll something.
I will Investigate the oasis area. Looking for prime prey. 5.
5. Okay.
Cycle vision
So
mode. Familiarize myself with scent trails of the smaller animals and whatnot.
I'm going to
So I
continue
know.
to describe.
Okay.
I'm going to continue to describe them as apes because one of the tropes of being an ape, one of the perceived benefits of being an ape is being wise. And you can see that the apes are, in fact, probably the most intelligent thing around here. Wouldn't say intelligent, but maybe sentient. Um, and it's because they have particular habits. They're breaking off branches and they carry these little branches around with them. So they're using tools, and they're using the tools. They're using the branches to dip the leaves of the branch in the water, and then they let the water drip into their mouths. And they stay far away, as far as they can. They stretch out their arms and dip the leaves in the water, and then they let the drops of water drip onto their tongues, their little forked tongues, and they let the little forked tongue spiral around the leaves and get all the water off. And they go back and they drip them down, and they very, very carefully go into the water.
Like
Come
purposely
back and
not trying to
drink.
splash.
Yeah, they're very
Okay.
carefully, very tentatively go into the water, drink the water, and then when they back away from the water, they take a couple of steps back, and then they turn around and scurry up the trees.
Mm.
You sit there and watch them, and you're pretty sure there's something in the water,
That they're definitely afraid of.
but you don't know what. And you keep hearing a sound, but you don't know what it is.
It's not coming from the
Because
monkeys.
you rolled a 5 investigate, so
Okay, that's fine.
this is what I'm giving you.
From a hidden position, I'm gonna pick up a rock and throw it in the water. Let's see what happens.
Okay. Just physics.
Just boop.
Yeah, just physics. You get a plunk. Water does water stuff. Rock does rock stuff. Nothing special.
All right. Gonna try to find a tree closest to the water, climb up it, and try to see if I could see what the hell's in the water.
Okay. So these trees, I would probably say, are there's many of them. I don't know that any of them might actually hold you.
Oh, okay. They're a little flimsy.
Yeah, remember these monkeys
Oh,
are
okay.
like lemur
Right.
size. They're really tiny. And while some of these trees look like they might be old, most of them look kind of young.
Okay. I'm gonna place my drone above the water, obviously not close to it, in cycle vision mode, see what I could see.
Okay. Here's the thing. I'm not sure. I might have to do some impromptu research because I think besides visible light, not a lot of light, even on broader spectrums, travels through water. So you might be looking at like gamma rays and X-rays. Um, will definitely travel through,
And
but
microwave.
uh, no, it doesn't, because they use sonar underwater, not radar.
Okay.
Uh, blue and violet, yeah, they travel deeper, but not. So it doesn't matter what time of day it is. If you go deep enough underwater, it's always night. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This lake is not that deep. The problem is if you're looking at uh, blue and violet light. So let's say you're using like blue laser or something to travel through, you're not going to be able to detect anything useful that you would be able to see that you wouldn't be able to see. Um, so in other words, your a basic vision mode, a natural vision mode would be would be most advantageous to see the deepest through it. But
Mhm.
then you have the problem of you're looking through this medium. So in order to see through this medium, that medium is still blocking whatever is underneath it.
So basically, I can't see like any shadows or anything in the water or any
You just can't
silhouettes.
you just can't see through water, man. Like
Okay.
you would literally need need X-ray or gamma ray, because radar is gonna bounce off. And yeah, microwave and radar, that's a similar length. So
All right. Are all the monkeys up trees?
that's where they like to stay.
Are any of the monkeys on the ground?
I described some that come down to get water, but for the most part, they like to brachiate.
Okay. I'm gonna wait for one of them to come down and get water, and I'm gonna grab it. You said they were like lemurs, right? So they're maybe like this big. Lemurs are pretty
Yeah,
small.
yeah, they're like a foot and a half.
Yeah.
Let me refine this question to make sure that I'm not crazy. What? Of E- you know, you get that stupid AI overview that means absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Um. Ooh, what's this? Radio waves, particularly at very low and extremely low frequencies, penetrate water to the greatest depths. Hmm. And radio is not radar, so that's not going to help you. All right. Hairless lemur ape. Yep. All right. So give me you.
I'm basically gonna like wait for one of these monkeys to climb down a tree to go drink, and then I'm
I
gonna
don't
grab it
think
and throw it in the lake.
I don't think he has any chance of seeing you, but it might hear you.
Yeah.
So if you can, uh, what's that roll in this game? Balance.
Balance. Yeah. I'm gonna.
Yeah, what are you at? Plus 35 or something to hide right now?
Yeah, my hide's a 34 without rolling.
So yeah,
Before I roll.
39. Yeah, I'm not gonna roll because that would create a critical failure,
Yeah.
and that would be unfair. So we'll just roll that and see if I can hear you.
I'm gonna go slower to give myself a +1.
Hmm.
Oh my god, 7.
7. Being very skittish. This thing, like, as soon as you get close, like 25 feet, it definitely hears you, and then it just abandons what it's doing and scurries up a tree and looks all around for you. It's trying to communicate as long as you think by its little hoot, and the other what do I want to call them?
Volcalemurs.
Monksards. I don't know. Lismers,
Lismers.
lismers. I don't know what to call them. The little lismers. They kind of like hoot back at each other, and when that one hoots, they all pop their head around and start looking around. So they're just all on alert for you.
Wait for the next one to come down. Try even slower approach. Foot by foot.
Cool.
12.
Okay, this time you succeed. You take your foot by foot approach. However, because you are moving very, very slowly, I'm going to ask for extra rolls.
Extra balance rolls?
Yeah.
11.
Nice. One more.
11 again.
Okay. You get 2 feet away from one of these things.
Gonna grab him, throw him in the water. Not too far. Just right there. Bam.
Do you have quick draw Lismer? No, I'm just kidding. What do you,
I almost looked.
do you, oh my god, that's the nerdiest thing I've said in like years. Okay, do you want to take a wrestle action to do that?
Sure. I believe I have all the thingamajigs. Well, I'm not trying to damage it. I'm just trying to pick it up and hook it. I got shoot in, rush grapple, grab and hold.
Shoot. Oh, you have shoot in, rush grapple? I mean, you have shoot in. That means you could take that step and take a wrestle action. If you have rush grapple, that's you turn it into a grapple action. I need you to know these things. I can help you look it up this time, but I'm wondering if you could do it all. If you could do it all in one action, that'd be pretty amazing. But it's just I don't know because I rewrote those talents recently. I don't know exactly all the benefits that's going to give you. Here, let me.
Yeah, I have grab and hold, shoot in, and rush grapple.
Oh, you have grab and hold. I think those are the 3 that you need. Okay, let's see. You probably wrote them down in logical order. Shoot in. You can move and initiate a wrestle in 1 turn. Cool. Grab and hold. You can wrestle and grapple attack in one action. That won't help you
Rush
because
grapple. The talent allows you to use grab and hold talent even if you do not start your turn next to your target. Simply state that you're shooting in. You may move and initiate a wrestle roll followed by a grapple attack. Well, my grapple attack would be like throw.
that's what I'm. So a throw would be a wrestle, right? Wait, it's because you threw me off a little. Hold up.
Sorry.
Grab it. You can wrestle. Grapple in one action. Right. So those are separate. So you said you have shoot in, grab and hold, and what's the other one you have?
Rush grapple.
Rush grapple. Okay. That's the one you need. You can move, wrestle, and grapple attack in one turn. I think you. To throw something in this game is a wrestle, isn't it?
It's a wrestle or push, right?
It's a wrestle or a push, yeah. So, I mean, you can move in and wrestle. Did I miss something when I wrote these? I don't know. I don't know if you can actually do that in this game. Can you move, wrestle something, and then throw it? Because normally you have to get into a wrestle to do anything. You know what I mean? Like you first have
Yeah.
to get into the wrestle. And if your options are grapple attack, you can use a takedown if you have that talent.
Takedown, no takedown.
Did I write anything else? Do you have the flowchart with you? The cheat sheet?
Yes.
There's a little flowchart on there.
All right. Roll to initiate. The defender rolls wrestling, or push, or tripping, or escape, or half of dodge or parry. Transition, start and clinch. Roll wrestle to change position. Options from clinch. Takedown may also use trip talents. Takedown plus go to the ground. Attempt to move to superior position at a... Is that a +2 or -2 wrestling?
-2.
Move from inferior to neutral. Inferior position -3 to combat skills. Move from superior to pin at total.
I think it's going to be
-3?
2 actions. Is my point.
It's going to be 2 actions? That's fine.
Yeah, but just go ahead and roll that first. I mean, it's fair enough. There doesn't need to be a tone for it to make it one. How do you pick someone up and then throw them? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It'd have to. If you were just doing a push, then you could like run up and push. You know what I mean? That would be. Okay, so just roll the wrestle.
17.
Okay, not a critical. But you've definitely grabbed this thing by its skin, probably, or partially by its skin, partially by something else. You can use your talents to whatever extent. I mean, you run up and grabbed it, and you could do whatever else you wanted to.
The grapple attack to chuck it in the water?
A grapple attack, isn't a throw. I mean, I would give it to you if it was a trip or a push. And
Push
do
then?
you have is it rush down?
Rush down? I do not have rush down. I have rush grapple.
You have rush grapple.
Allows you to use the grab and hold talent even if you do not start next turn next to your target. Simply start you're shooting in, you may move and initiate a wrestle roll followed by a grappling attack if the wrestle roll is successful in one action.
Yeah.
Grab and hold is when you initiate a wrestle normally, you may immediately make a grapple attack as a single action.
Yeah. No, that's why it's going to be 2 turns. I'm going to give myself initiative as I wiggle as hard as this Lismer wiggles as hard as it possibly can to get out of your grip.
All right. 15.
Okay, it's your turn.
Huh.
How far in the water do you want to throw it, or can you throw it? It's going to be.
I'm only gonna toss it like maybe 6 feet away.
So, oh wait! I cheated. You have a size modifier. Your first one would have been a critical hit. I would give you.
What does that mean
superior,
in a wrestle?
It would let you. I'll let you move straight into superior position. Could also give you another bonus if I wanted. I could let you go straight into that throw if I wanted.
Okay.
We'll say you just pick it up by its head and hold it like a knob and
Yep.
or something.
I'm only throwing it 6 feet out.
You have
that way. Go ahead. Sorry.
And because you have superior position and a size modifier, that means your second roll is a critical hit. So this monkey's going exactly where you want it to, up to its your maximum throwing distance. This thing probably weighs about 25 pounds. You can chuck it, I don't know, pretty far, 50 feet if you wanted to. Across the lake, it's going to be something like 350 yards.
No, I just throw it 6 feet in. And then I quick draw my spear when I can.
Well, it's a quick draw, so that'd be immediate.
Yeah, so just and then swing. See what comes up to eat it. And I'll also be using my spear to keep the monkey in the water. Like if he starts swimming towards, no, stay in there.
All right, so a spear appears in midair amidst the rising heat waves which distort the landscape. And nothing, the monkey starts swimming back towards shore.
I don't let him. I keep pushing him out with my spear.
What you are describing, sir, is baying.
Okay.
Unless you're pushing, the problem pushing them with a sharp stick is that you're going to kill them, right?
Oh, I'll flip it around. I don't want to kill him.
Yeah, you could. Your spear doesn't have I guess we never described this. Your spear doesn't have like an extra pokey part in the bottom, or because that would be pretty usual for spears.
Yeah, I imagine there's only one pointy end, right?
And I'll ask you to go through and check that out later.
Okay.
When you do your weapons, you can get like really creative, and there's like accessory for everything, and um, it it's nice, like, you know, like all these little details we don't have about your armor or stuff that we're making up on the fly. For the weapons part, it's all in the game, so you just kind of need to go through and detail it all out so that you can take advantage of that stuff later. But sure, if you don't want a particularly lethal, if you don't want a lethal end on both ends, then that's fine. We'll just say that's the way it is for now. And um, I guess you're pushing.
So do I roll attack first and then the push?
Uh, well, I don't remember how push works. When's the last time someone used push?
Shit.
Let's see if it says here. It probably doesn't say here. I think you need you to go to chapter 8. Uh, and chapter 8, Fool of Hate. Ocho te cocho. Air conditioner's making my eyes hurt. Here we go. Rank, blah, blah, blah. Use this skill next to a target. Move. Use an object or weapon. Push an opponent. Must be from the target. I get to use dodge, push, wrestle. 1/2 of my parry. And tied parry rolls are binds. 3-step forward movement. You may further move that character feat equal to the sum of your roll minus your opponent's roll divided by 2. So no, it's just push. Good, it works. Just roll push.
Push. 13.
That's enough, unfortunately, for this poor Lismer.
Get back in there.
Mumsard. Lemzard. I like Lemzard. Lemzard sounds right? I think we
And
finally
that's
found
will
it.
it be.
Lemzard. What's your lowest push?
If I roll a 1, 9.
So there's a chance. Okay. I'm going to have you do this 4 more times.
All right. 17. 14. 15. 16.
Okay. So your plan finally works. You can see in the water that the sand has begun to move. The sand has begun to move, and not just a little bit, but a lot. Like maybe an area of 15 by 15 or greater. The sand underneath the water, now barely perceptible to you. Out in the shallowest parts of the water, quickly approaching you, the sand is moving.
Flip my spear around.
Okay.
Back to the deadly side. And I wait for it.
Okay. Um, we're just gonna go for it then. Um, out of water, the sand the sand rises rapidly in a mound, and it begins to drift back into the lock very quickly. And just underneath that rising sand, you can see what appears to be the top row of teeth, several rows of teeth on the top of what is a maw, a gaping maw, very rapidly opening up. Um, Sand still flooding into the bottom part of the jaw. You can barely determine the shape of the thing, as it seems to have uh, wingtips that fan out to the sides, and it's coming very fast, and the mouth is very, very big. I would say that it seems to be about 3 feet across, but is also rising up out of the water. And because it's distorted by the water and the heat around here, um, it's hard to say. It could be anywhere between 5 and 8 feet long, the maw of this thing. And because you have a spear, I will give you initiative. But other than that, the attack of this thing and the speed of which it moves, well, also depends on what you do. If whether or not you have initiative, I don't know exactly. But the speed at which this thing is moving, it's probably not going to stop the monkey.
I'm gonna stab it.
You're going to stab it. Is there anywhere in particular you're going to stab it, or are you just going to
Well,
stab at it
I'm gonna stab it at where I think the meat is. Not in the mouth because all the teeth, but like right under the mouth.
under the mouth? You're going to try and get under the mouth.
If I can.
Interesting. Let me write this down before I.
And I mean, like, if it's facing me but going up, and I could see the bottom of its jaw, I'm gonna stab there. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's the orientation of the mouth to my position?
And there we go. So, all right. Give me an attack roll.
17. No, I'm sorry, I haven't mastered, so 18.
18. 18 to my 17.
Barely.
The creature attacks with such ferocity, water splashing about it, rapidly being forced out of the way. The monkey is instantly thrown into the back of its throat, one of its limbs being caught at the edge of the creature's mouth. The what I'm going to call a mantidile. Take that, Avatar. You ain't got poop on me. Comes up so quickly that you threaten to jab into the bottom of its jaw, and you only narrowly manage to get it underneath where you wanted. Allowing you to put a spear underneath it and dealing your damage.
13.
Do you have any spear talents?
I have the mastery and I have the pole weapon expert, but I think that just gives me an extra foot.
Too bad. You should have taken the spear setting one.
Oh yeah, no, I don't have that one. I know which one you're talking about.
You would have gotten a bunch of extra bonus damage right there, man.
All right, stuck it into the ground and let it fall on it. Ah, yeah.
That would have been good. Oh well. Like I said, I'd recommend you buy it, but I know you need lots of points for lots of things.
Yeah.
What was your damage?
13.
13.
And it has a AP 10.
Okay, the good news is you hit it. The bad news is it's huge, and a small wound like this, isn't really enough to stop a creature of this size. More bad news, it still has to do its turn. And like I said, forcing its way up out of the water, whether you're visible or not, here it comes.
18 dodge.
I think I might have just eaten you.
By mistake.
Your dodge was 18, you said?
Mm-hmm. I'm not going to try to parry it. It's huge. Did I fall into the mouth, Hector?
Well, let's see if I beat your prot, because that's a 27.
Yeah, if I added my prot to my dodge, it'd only be 25. So yeah. I have a 7 prot. Did you belly flop me? Is that what happened?
No, I think I'm chewing on you like a piece of jerky. Is what's going to happen right now. I didn't actually expect to hit you or beat your prot. Okay, let's see. Well, there's still hope. I could roll low. And you get your natural damage and all. Your PDN, your physical damage now?
Yeah.
Okay, that's not 20. It's only 20.
So I have 3 thick skins, so that's 6, and then half my power would be 3. It's like a null 9 of it. Is that how that works?
You use your thick skin and your half your power, yeah.
So I can all 9 of it. So I take 11? You say 20?
Yeah.
Take 11. I don't know what that does for my hit points.
Oh, you don't know.
I have 2 health and 3 stamina.
2 health. And 3 stamina.
Mm-hmm. So is that, how does that, because health is now the up, right? Stamina's out.
Uh-huh.
So I should have 6 rows.
Oh, hold up. Yeah. And you said 3 stamina.
Mm-hmm. So
Okay.
4 out?
And you took 11?
Yeah.
Okay, so you took 2 wounds and you'll be bleeding 2 every turn until you get to um, 1 past -1.
6, 9, 10,
Um,
11. So I'm right here.
more bad news. You are in a wrestle.
Oof.
Big mind creatures like this. There's a trait or that allows them to go from attack to wrestle instantly if they hit.
Mm-hmm.
And that's definitely this kind of creature, which is probably going to get
Cool.
you in some sort of
So I'm at,
not a death roll, but a death wag like a dog. It's going to shake you back and forth to try to get all the
so I'm
meat
at
off your
a
bones.
I'm at a -1 right now. So my best Russell roll would be a 20.
You're not at a -1. You are because you haven't bled into it yet. The damage wasn't a crit. It's not
I
instant.
see. Okay.
I'll keep track of your negative.
Okay. Anything above a 21, you got me when it comes to wrestle.
Well, then you better think of something else to do.
Start wrist blading it and hope it lets me go.
Yeah, I mean it's something. I honestly would hope you come with something else, but if that's what you want to go,
Wait a minute.
I'll,
Wait a second. I have a shape charge.
that's not a hunting tool. May save your life, but won't get you any honor.
Yeah, well, I don't want to be eaten, so I'm going to use it. Because if it doesn't kill the creature, I can still kill it honorably. Right?
That thing will almost certainly kill anything if used correctly. Like I said, I don't know what your traits look like. Um, I don't know how high your social stigma is per se.
My belief in social stigma is a 2.
All right, so that's flexible. You might do this to save your life, and I don't know how much you'd be thinking about it in the moment,
Yeah,
worrying about your
instinctually,
life.
I'd probably try to scritchy scratch it at first.
Well, I'm not saying that. I'm saying how much you would care about your honor in the moment, because it's still the highest value, Yaocha's going to have. So, like I said, only because Only because I want like these little tidbits and stuff that I give you about Yaocha culture
Mm.
is like to get you into the mood of like what the society is like, what the values are. You could probably kill this thing no problem with that thing, and there goes your honor.
I see. I'm gonna start
So
stabbing my wrist.
so how much you care about that is up to you because you don't really have the stigma for it, and I don't know if there's any other trait that would represent that.
I'm definitely gonna use a shape charge if I have no other choice. I.e., if I'm about to die, I'm gonna use it.
Okay, but go ahead. What is it on the flow chart? It says what it is to attack, and I think you have a tiny weapon. You might not even have a penalty, and I think you took the wrestling proficiency with it too. So you should be all right to do that all around.
Flip chart.
Oh, huh. Okay.
Is tiny weapon on the flow chart?
It should say attack and a wrestle, and there might be a note on it.
If I move from inferior to neutral, in inferior position, I have -3 to combat skills.
So you're not an inferior because I
At least
haven't
not
put
yet.
you there yet. Yeah, I only put. So the talent that I used is just to get you from an attack to a wrestle. Successful attacks can be automatically put you in a wrestle. But I didn't create hit, so I didn't take a superior position.
Okay, so basically this attack will be unmodified.
Yeah, I
For
think
this
so.
attack. Okay,
I think
cool.
so.
You know,
And I'll
just,
even give you initiative because as it begins to move around, flail its wings left and right, it's going to try to wag you like a dog, but that's a slower movement than you just punching it.
deploy the wrist blades. Poing! Start stabbing at this thing.
Do it to it.
Stabbing, not slashing. Oh my god. 13?
13. Why'd you roll that?
Because
I didn't know you could roll so low.
Please.
Oh, stop it. How dare you?
Plink off its teeth or something?
Okay. As you go to stab it, the momentum of it flailing you back and forth just prevents you from getting any actual purchase with your blades. Your arms flailing around like you're riding a bull in a rodeo.
Doing this.
And you're not able to stab at it because of the sheer momentum, which is bad. You might have to go to plan B here. That's okay. Oh well, my wrestle or grapple attack, as it were, is only a 22, and you said you could.
Can't roll it.
Can you roll low enough to be critically
Oh
hit?
yeah, make sure it's not a crit. Let's see. So the wrestle would be 17.
Okay, at least you're not critically hit. The only problem is that allows me to do grapple damage. Which is not going to be the same as its chomp attack. Good news is you know that I only rolled a 5.
Nice.
That means you got another chance at this. That was one turn. This is going to bleed this much, and you are going to bleed this much.
I try to stab it again.
Let's do it.
17.
to my 15.
Nice. 17 damage.
That's very respectable. This time, deeper than the wound that you caused with the spear, where it was mostly deflected by bone. This time you get a nice big chunk of meat to rip open with your dual blades, causing horrible damage. Actually still flailing around like a cowboy. The back part, spiky parts of your blade get in there and tear in a wound that's really, really deep and nasty and really maws at the flesh, causing.
I'm gonna rage as a free action
Okay.
because I forgot to do it at the beginning of this turn.
Cool. On the other hand, it's still trying to kill you. You have a chance.
15.
But you didn't make it.
Now my damage null will be 10.
And this time I actually rolled decent. Your damage null is 10, you said?
Mm-hmm. Because I'm raging.
The bad news is you took damage. The good news is you only took 4. More bad news, you're headed towards -2 if you continue to take damage. When you bleed out. Let's see.
So this next turn will be at a -1?
No, you're not there yet.
Okay.
2, 3. You're gonna bleed out this much. You're still at -0. No penalty. It's going to bleed out. Oh wow.
Is there a negative in damage for wrist blades?
Ooh. They're non-modified. They're full lethality. I mean, they're kind of big, right? They're almost like a short.
I just want to make sure I'm doing it right. I don't want to barely kill this thing when really, you know.
I don't. Let me check. I don't remember. Damage -1.
-1. Okay. Okay.
You're raging.
Yes.
Do you want to continue in this fashion?
Yeah. Yeah, if the wrist blades are +2 speed, that puts me at an 8, and I'm raging, so I'm at a 10 attack speed.
Yeah, we don't use attack speed anymore. I'm giving you.
Oh, I'm at a 10 action speed.
but if somebody was using the game correctly,
steal initiative to attack first.
They should steal initiative to attack first.
I have a 10, so I go first.
Yeah.
Me first.
Go ahead. It's all you. You should have gotten extra attacks. 22 attack?
Yeah.
That is a critical hit, sir.
Oh. All right. This D4 is a
just barely.
It's even, so it's 2. So 15 to 17.
17 real. That's pretty dang good. Let's see, that puts me Wait, okay. So 7 here, and then here. All right. This time you plunge your claws deep into its eye socket. One of the claws goes off to the side and the other one digs in. And you're in there digging around and you know you hit something vital. The other claw chops viciously, gashing open the side of its face, while the other one, held firm by bone and the muscular eye of this thing pinning your blade to the side of its eye socket. Um, you know that this time you did real damage. I'm going to get a turn, and then you're going to get your second turn for stealing initiative.
Okay.
You are currently, luckily, you did critical damage,
Yeah.
and you're not currently at a penalty. You will be soon, but that means you have a chance against this roll because I am not a penalty, and then I rolled 10.
20
So
wrestle.
20 wrestle. The good news is
It's not a
that
crit.
it's not a crit. It's not a crit. Could have been. Um, and luckily, yeah, grapple damage ignores armor. That's going to be. That's right. I got a penalty to that. 16.
So I take 6 after my
6,
natural damage and all.
Yeah.
3, 4,
2,
5,
3,
6.
4, 5, 6. The problem with that is it still hurts.
Yeah, according to my chart, I'm 3 from death. So do
No,
my.
you're wrong. I know what you did.
Mhm.
You forgot to add the free roll of hit points.
I did. I should have 4 out because I have a 3 stamina.
Yeah.
Yeah. So according to my little
And did you
chart,
count the wounds?
I'm 3 away from death.
And did you count the wounds?
All the wounds count. Shit. All right.
The wounds count.
I always forgot that, man.
Mm-hmm. And
So
you're not at a -3 yet, so I got your calculation right here, buddy.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Uh-huh. Right. Yeah. Yeah, you're not. Let's see. Did I
Yeah, because
apply bleed?
my self
No.
pres, once I get to 4, I'm out of there.
Okay.
Which is basically how I'm playing it. If you take me down to a -4, I'm shape charging his face. Because that'll be my only option to live.
4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. As you pull your blade out, huge amounts of blood fills the water, splashing all over the place. Like somebody popped a beach ball full of blood. And the I mean, victory can be had, sir. You are grievously wounded, but you are still strong.
What would be my negative for this action?
You are at not at a negative yet.
Okay.
Yeah,
Keep stabbing.
you're not at a negative yet. And this is your second attack this turn, right?
Okay.
Well, you stole initiative, then I went,
Mhm.
and now it's your second turn because you stole initiative.
Oh, okay, I see. Yeah. Yeah, because I could auto do that because my speed was at a 10. Right?
Yeah, you should have done that 2 and 3
just
turns
the beginning.
ago. And you would,
yeah, I know.
yeah.
Yeah. 21 attack.
And fortunately for you, that takes my 11 down to a 9.
So I crit.
You crit.
Oh, nice. Odds and evens on the D4. It's odd, so 1. Oh, man. Trash damage. 5.
5.
Barely nicked it. From
You
all
crit
the...
You crit nothing.
There's too
You
much of
crit
this.
nothing.
There's too much of this. I couldn't get in there.
It's super explodey eye. You decide to go try to get back in there to see if you can poke around it. Maybe what its brain is, but its brain is too small and your blade is not long enough. And you stab at a destroyed eye, doing absolutely nothing worth mentioning. It's the next turn, which means you're gonna take 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you're at a -1.
Does the -1 affect attack speed?
No.
Okay.
And let's see, it is 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Still bleeding profusely.
I steal initiative to go first.
Yes, please do.
You said I'm at a -1?
Yep.
16.
I also rolled a 16. However, with my negative, that takes me down to a 12.
Damage, I -1 the total? Is that how that works for wounds?
Yes.
So it would have been 22, so 21?
21. Good news, everyone.
Good news!
That's enough damage. Through sheer will and determination, knowing that the way that you're pinned, you don't really have anywhere else to stab. You hope that you've loosened up enough stuff in there that you can get in there this time. And you focus and jam your wrist blade back into its skull, completely missing your target of the eye, instead smashing next to it and digging both blades into its skull, where apparently finally something, you hit a button, it's somewhere deep inside of there that just makes it give up. You are bleeding profusely. You will bleed to a -3.
I'm gonna...
As you can breathe in the water as you're being held just at the shoreline because your mask has oxygen in it. But you're being held by the weight of the massive thing alone. You and a bloody monkey stuck in the throat of this thing. a bloody Lismer.
do I need like a roll of climb or something to get out of its mouth?
I assume you just have the strength to do it. But
if I'm raging, I have 8 power currently.
That's good. Because you're raging, I'm going to let it slide. Otherwise, going to have you roll lift. But since you're raging, 8 power is really a lot. It's enough to you uncaringly shove the palms of your hands into the teeth of the creature to lift up its maw at its many rows of teeth. 3.5 rows of teeth, depending on where you count. And you push up at its teeth, but because you're raging, you ignore the pain of the teeth digging into your hands and the weight pushing you back onto its bottom teeth. And you just roll out as the giant maw claps back down, snapping off the wrist of the little monkey lizard.
Just his little hands, just whoop.
It was popping. It was sticking out halfway, and when you let the maw down, you closed it, and here you are, bleeding, your green fluorescent blood, at the shore of the little lock. And
I'm good. I'm gonna bust out.
Bust out what?
Bust out my med kit that I'm not really trained in.
Are you? Are you really?
Don't we all have one?
Because here's the thing, Ro. Look.
Yeah. -1, so 6.
Okay, you're gonna bust out your med kit.
But
well, you want to stop bleeding, so in order
I
to
remember
see
my
yourself,
drone's deployed.
yeah, sure, doesn't matter. I'm counting that as your focus rolls as well. You bust out your med kit and start tending to your wounds. Roll doctoring.
I'm not learned in it, so I only get a +2. Memory 1, so 9.
You do a bad job. You stab yourself in the wrong place. You end up, I don't know, you'd probably scream. Predator 1, he screams when he injects himself. That guy was a badass, so I don't know if you have the composure to not scream.
No way.
You're screaming. You're getting your paste built. You're getting organic material, which you assume that the speech is made out of organic material because you're not sure what else it could possibly be made out of. And there is organic material in dirt usually. So you need some powder to coalesce your paste, and you're rubbing it on. And 2 mantodiles steal your trophy.
Nah, damn it! They pull it back in the water or something. Son of a bitch!
I'm sorry to do that to you, but
Hey, I was assuming there was only one creature, so I wouldn't have known. Like, oh, I better get the trophy before its brothers come. I assumed there was only one in the lake, so it's all good.
Yeah.
All right, I take the walk of shame back to the pod. I'm not gonna dive in and try to get it back.
No, not after what happened to you. I mean, you got ravaged pretty bad. And unfortunately, I mean, the really bad part is no trophy, no honor.
Yeah.
Sorry to do that to you.
Something.
It's predator life is a hard life. But you live and you will. Your wounds will recover. And when you get back to the ship, Nobody looks down their mandibles at you. They completely ignore you, um, which is not bestowing honor upon you, but it's also not bestowing shame upon you.
Hmm.
Um, this has probably happened to all of your elders at one point or another, where a trophy got away and your lessers don't snivel at you, or your peers don't give you any, don't throw any shade your way. Uh, Nobody likes that ending to a story, and nobody gives you any grief over it.
Straight to medbay.
What just sucks is you had an honorable fight, you had a good hunt, you just couldn't secure the honor.
Yeah. I never assumed there's more than one, like the whole
Mhm.
time.
Yeah, I mean, the netting yourself is going to be uh, like a 15-minute kind of ordeal, right? Even if you, even if you could quick do it, still 5 minutes. That's still way too long for the other creatures in the lock not to come out.
I accept.
All right, that's what we're going to call it today, guys. Maybe
The
I'll
most
start
important thing,
blasting.
Hector, I live.
Well, you can have 3 points, but
Cool.
it's something. Trickle in some
Cheers.
points. Trickle in some points. Maybe you take some wrestle or something.
Or next time I get
So,
honor, maybe some anti-wrestle deployable spikes in the armor.
mm,
It's kind of cool, huh? Like, oh no, I'm in something's mouth. And like, kind of spawn it, so it becomes spikies. That
something
sounds
worse
kind of
like
cool. Yeah.
it does. Um, but guys, maybe I'll start blasting social media. Try to get this movie boycott going. I don't have a huge audience, so that's not gonna go very far. So if you have a huge audience, or any audience, or know someone who does have a huge audience, who agrees with me that uh, how do I say that that wee baby crab face predator is not cool and shouldn't exist, and they should take the emotion out of his eyes. The whole point is he's a crab head. He's always been described as a crab head. The top part of his head doesn't move. His eyebrows don't move. In the first movie, his eyebrows didn't move. There's no muscles there. It's all bone. Smash you with a skull. It's a massive skull for him to. There's no. There was no animatronics. They shouldn't have added all this weird stuff. All this. It just looks so bad. All they have to do is take that out and maybe make his mandibles a little bit bigger so he doesn't look like a wee baby crab. But thanks for joining me. um, I haven't put any merch out, but the old merch is still awesome. And you'd be one of the few people rocking it, so check it out.
Go get you
Go
some.
buy a t-shirt. Maybe you like some etchy. Maybe you like some freaking super colorful cyberpunk stuff. Maybe you like. I'm gonna get back to work on it. My health has been crap. It's getting better. I hope. Um, so hopefully we'll get back on it. And thanks for joining us. What is there something else I'm supposed to say?
Yes, Artist for Hire S is looking for an intern. You must be strong-willed and be able to be able to withstand a lot of vocal abuse.
Massive amounts, copious amounts, floods, deluge of abuse, biblical proportions of abuse. Um, that's
You will only be paid in experience.
It'll be the best experience ever. Yeah, is that it? Oh, maybe get a commission. I haven't done one of those in a while. You know, I'll draw your freaky My Little Pony stuff that you're into. If that's what it takes. I need the money. Times is hard. Most importantly, stay metal.